has hair. Rob, when was the last time you had this much hair on the top of your head?
I was maybe 45. So what, 30 years ago?
I guess that's the 90s.
So this is where we're at today. This is the best we got. We're just gonna sit here and look at
Pre-Mosconi silliness.
yeah.
People start getting in that Mosconi is like, when people get in that Christmas mood, and they just kind of get like little off the wall. Goofy.
This is my first Mosconi Cup. I'm really pumped to be going and
it's an experience.
Oh, I didn't even know you were going, Ray.
Yeah. I screamed at my TV forever. You know what I mean? And I just useless anyways. I just don't do anything for 4 days. So
yeah, you might as well be there, right?
I might as well be there and just not do anything while I'm there and get to actually this for the year. That's it. So
Telfer has a ticket available for 4 days, but you got to sit with the Europeans. No,
I would choose violence and do that. I would just go ahead like William Wallace and just break the ranks and just
Yeah, exactly.
charge. They'd probably love me by the end of the 4 days anyhow.
They like to think of themselves as so intimidating.
They're a bunch
sit in there and laugh.
They're a bunch of softies.
Yeah, I don't know. My entire group is on the European side. I'm confused.
Your group is on the European side? How'd you do that?
Yeah, I didn't have a choice. We got 30 tickets, and they just put us wherever they could fit us in.
Right.
So, but I think we're in section. Oh, I don't even know what section I'm in. I guess, but we're rows D, E, and F, I believe.
You're going to have to do some reconnaissance for us, Nate. Do some USA information gathering, some espionage.
I think this is going to be I think this is going to be the year that the U.S. is at least rivaling Europe as far as numbers. In the past, I've gone the last.
They outnumbered them in 19.
Oh no way! They were close to even. At best, they were close to even.
No.
No. Well, if you judge it based off of the loudness of the crowd, Europe was 80% of the crowd. 19 in Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, we must have been at a different tournament.
I don't know. I guess I want to go back and look at the pan of the crowd because there was an entire section that basically nobody was there on the European or on the American side. Because the entire right half of it, so if you're facing the table towards the break spot, the entire right half of it, nobody was even in there. And that was the American side. Right?
I guess I don't, yeah.
I don't know. Now you got me questioning that. I always, when I remember back, I remember that there was probably 60% European. But anyways, back to it. I think this is the year that there's going to be a lot more Americans. There are a ton of people going out there. So I don't know if there's going to be a European side. There will be in a sense of there's still going to be plenty of Europeans that are there, but I don't see them having a giant section of the crowd.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, Rob, why don't you jump in your car and start driving out there now? What I really want to know is where's our dinner at, Mike? Where are we doing dinner?
Herbs and Rye.
Herbs and Rye, yes.
Read the notes, Nate. Read the notes.
I never learned how to read. I'm excited. We're gonna have a fun dinner.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Well, I don't know. Should we actually talk about pool? Or should we just talk about the Mosconi Cup and what we're gonna do while we're there?
We got some great stuff going on down in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I think we ought to talk about Puerto Rico a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a great looking event for sure.
Let's throw out from a fan perspective this idea. What do you like better, the rotation games or 8-ball? From a fan perspective, watching these professionals play.
I love watching 8-ball. I love watching 8-ball at the highest level.
I prefer rotation, but at the highest level, 8-ball to me looks really easy. It does.
At the highest level, all the games are easy.
Yeah, they look easy, but it's really interesting to watch them run through a rack, knowing that they're not going to get a second shot. So
most of the time, not right.
Yeah, right. And so it's
even the tricky racks.
You've seen some really creative stuff, which I do enjoy. I really do enjoy how they break out balls, how they play. They've been.
Oh yeah.
And they're forced to shoot shots because they know they can't play safe. They're down to Victor made a shot near the end of his match yesterday. I can't remember who he played where he won, I think, by a couple games. But, where he had to go in off another object ball. And it was not an easy shot, but it was sink or swim. I like those situations where they're in sink or swim.
Yeah. Alex and Kachi had a hill match.
Well, I will say something. I have watched a lot of 8-ball patterns, and it's interesting, even with the higher level guys, when you see them pick potentially the wrong pattern, and you're like, oh, they're in a bad spot here. And then they end up kind of, then it's like a really big make or break pressure shot. Certain people have both won and lost matches because of that. I saw Fortunsky not get out because of a basically positional error, double hill against Ko Pin-Yi. He had Ko Pin-Yi dead to rights and made a positional error off of the 1 to his last key ball on the 8 and then misses the 8. And Ko Pin-Yi ended up beating him that double hill. And then I saw a match where Montpellier was playing Shane, and Montpellier had gotten the last 5 balls. He was dead out open and was playing for the last 3 balls near the bottom rail and mismanaged position and didn't get proper position. He had to play a double kiss shot, and he made it, but he got into a really tricky position off of his second to last stripe. And he was in one of those sink or swim type of shots where I thought he was probably going to go and just try and chop this ball in and hope to Lord, that he got shape on his second to last, on his last stripe. But instead, he tucked Shane underneath the ball, pinched him, floated it underneath the rail, and got him squeezed, but beneath the rail, played safe. Shane kicked, hit a solid, and left him a shot. He ended up beating Shane that way. It was funny because Shane had actually taken off his glove, so he expected it to be bigger because he was down by 2 racks. So when he came back to the table, he didn't have his glove on. So you can tell he didn't expect to get back to the table. And Alex, unfortunately, let him back in, but played a kind of, I think, like a really patient shot. Most people, I think, would have taken the flyer and hoped to get shaped, and maybe would have gotten shaped, but you never know. But yeah, it's funny to see when guys are good and they just run the balls up. Like Mario's been breaking people into the dirt, like all tournament. He's been breaking really great despite some of the racking stuff.
He's actually playing right now too.
Yeah. Did they just start already?
It's 5-4 Mario. Up.
And Mario missed an 8-ball that was basically kind of a hanger to go up 3-0, and then FSR got back to 3-2, and then I guess I've been kind of paying attention to getting the podcast going from there. But you said Mario's up 5-4?
So they started at noon?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. But I think just this whole event, not just the rotation and the 8-ball, but the whole presentation that's been offered at this event is really beautiful to watch. Like the venue overall is really nice. Kazum multi-table free coverage is really forward-thinking, super nice. You're not behind a paywall, which for the fans, especially fans of people like that are in the mid-tier, that people want to watch them and see how they're doing and support them, that they probably won't get the nod ever until they make it deep. Like even they can get to the quarterfinals and never make the TV table, because it might be like a Cisco versus a Mario or something. They're kind of more household names who never see them, and they have tournaments of their lives. So the fact that you get a chance to see these guys and they have these memories on camera, against the best players in the world, and they just kind of get used to the fact that every table there's a camera. Every table is a TV table, basically, is a super value add, not only for the players, but also for the fans. And then just to see the multiple disciplinary approach, like you see the junior 9-ball stuff, you see the pro 10-ball for the men and the women's, you see the 8-ball happening. Like, I think it speaks to the higher kind of bigger vision that Predator has for how they're going to view their pro billiards series and what they're trying to kind of build over and over again. And then you realize in the back of your head, oh yeah, there's also this big amateur, league national thing happening there as well. So you get people that maybe don't get access to see these guys play, get a chance to see them and support them, and they get to network with them. So I think overall, it's just a beautiful event. And from what I understand, the venue looks out of control, super nice. Like it looks so great. So
the carpeting's a little crazy.
I love it. I think it's
you like it?
Cool, unique. Yeah, it's kind of like, people like the Steinway. They're just like, oh, look at Steinway. Like this is just like whatever. It looks like you're in the Florida room of your 1994 grandma's hotel or something. Or like, it's got kind of like that like cool aesthetic. But just overall, the venue looks just wonderful. Looks really, really nice.
Yeah, the event has gone, I guess, it's nearly perfect. I guess going back to the 8-ball thing, I want to try to convince you, Mike, why 8-ball is a more entertaining game. You ready for this? This is my pitch.
All right.
This is my pitch. You've watched, obviously, a little bit of it, right? Okay. So what is the most boring part about rotation and the big complaint that they're really trying to fix? It's the break, right? I mean, the break is boring if you put the 9 on the spot and you hit it, or the 1 on the spot, and you're basically just hitting it nice and soft, and you're controlling that 1 ball, blah blah blah. If you watch, the most exciting shot in 8-ball is the break. Every single player is hitting it 25 miles an hour, just trying to smash the rack. Cue balls flying all over the place. It's exciting. So the most boring part of rotation is the most exciting part about 8-ball. And then you get to have all of the complex patterns, and of course it looks like it's easy, but their cue balls flying all over the place to play their patterns. And I think it's
I get it. I understand it, and I do love 8-ball at this level. You talking about comparing it to the rotation games. I still prefer those as a television watching fan. To watching 8-ball.
I think one of the things that's kind of good is that the break's kind of been neutralized a little bit as far as both the 10-ball and the 8-ball go. It's not as important because the referees are basically slugging everybody to death. Whole tournament, super inconsistent racks. Some guys get frustrated, but they keep lining up from the middle of the table like they got a perfect template rack, and they keep breaking, and then they keep getting frustrated when they don't get a ball, or maybe happen to get lucky. You see a lot of close matches, a lot of parity, because now you got to outplay your opponent from that position. So, the fact that the break is not such a devastating weapon, although we did see Ko in one match, I guess, had a referee that was racking great for him. He ran 6 and out, and I think
Fedor did too, right?
Fedor had 6.
Yeah, Fedor ran the whole
7.
from the first inning. So it was a 1-inning match, which is pretty strong. But he was breaking from the rail, which I think is the same way a lot of the pros break in a 10-ball. It's probably how you're supposed to break from the 8-ball, considering how they're.
Yeah, I saw him breaking second ball too.
Yeah, second ball is also a good break, I think. I mean, it's like the standard break that everybody knows at 8-ball. So the fact that people are just like, oh, there's this break that we can use that might be effective. Like, maybe play 8-ball. That's the break when especially if you're in a league situation where you're dealing with a loose rack all the time. You want to get into the guts and try and spread them out and give yourself a chance to make something. So, I think it's the fact that the break is neutralized for me, I think makes it more compelling, because now there is a little bit more parity, a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the break is that big deal for sure. Did you guys have heard what happened to Alex's leg? Or he was limping around. He withdrew from the tournament in the middle of Shaw's match.
Yeah, so he apparently strained his calf muscle pretty bad. And he was able to kind of get through it the later rounds yesterday because it wasn't a shot clock, and so he was able to manage
with Tyler. And thank God it wasn't a shot clock. He'd have never made it with a shot clock.
It moved slowly. So then when he got on the TV table today, he was down 2-1 and missed a position on an 8-ball. You could tell he just kind of flinched because he was in pain, and then missed 2 more open balls that he never misses. And the second time he missed an open ball, he was down 5-1, I think. But he just resigned because he said that the shot clock made it so that he couldn't get around the table fast enough and manage the pain. And so he just withdrew.
Yeah, he's having trouble limping around the table every shot.
Yeah.
You could tell he was suffering.
Yeah, and he's not going to put himself out there just to be a lame duck. You know what I mean? He wants to try and play. And if he can't compete, then he's just going to, not.
Boy, I was sure impressed. I'm thinking, here's a one-pocket champion player, right?
Somewhere in action right now.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't know. That part of it, I don't.
Well,
think
I could see. I mean, if he as long as he doesn't have a shot clock.
If he's up 5-1, there's no way he's doing it, right? I mean, him being down 5-1 at the time is, a little bit of a help there. But I mean, honestly, I cannot believe that he did that. You're talking about going into the semifinals. That's probably I mean, I don't know what the payouts are off the top of my head, but that's got to be like an $8,000 match that you're just forfeiting. I mean.
Yeah, and he's not going to just do that if he
Yeah, well, he's going to have to
make some money there, So it's like it obviously had to be enough that he just felt like he couldn't, in good faith put up his best game and do that to himself.
Or put up any game. I would have to say any game because I mean you're
like he was
playing against. I think that Jason Shaw's the. Go
He
ahead.
had one shot where he had to jump. He missed position on the 8 and he had to elevate and jump. And you could just tell he was like, just wanted to get off the shot because it hurt to be up on his calf.
Yeah.
You know, Jason looked kind of shook, honestly, when that happened. He was just he was like in disbelief, you know, because nobody wants to be that way. You know, he's focused on trying to play hard and he's dealing with nerves and trying to get comfortable. And you can tell he's kind of like trying to start to get into form. And then Alex is just like, I can't play like this. But
yeah, especially you could tell on shots where he had to stretch, where he had to lean out over the table. And
he's a small guy, so it's like,
right.
Yeah.
It's
He stretches out on every shot.
Right.
Yeah, I was kind of impressed. Just the fact that when was the last time 3 Canadian players made the final 32? I mean, there ain't that many Canadian players out there playing, but here we go, Jason Klatt and
Alex Klatt and Mora.
Yeah, John and Alex, all 3 of them
Klatt
in that final group.
Klatt looks really good for the majority of the.
He must have started hitting the balls around a little bit lately too to get there, because he was, 25 years ago, he was a great player. He was at the top of his game.
Yeah, he would. I guess for a while, honestly, he was traveling around a lot with Appleton, and he was at the point where he was like, man, you would say we're like a, maybe not Victor Zielinski, but like getting deep into big tournaments quite a bit and a threat to beat anybody. Like, maybe the guys just.
Well, he always has been that, yes.
Yeah. But playing really good.
Good. Yeah, good. That was really cool to see. I like that. The camaraderie of the Canadians there.
And the Polish guy.
And then a couple of Polacks.
Oh, my God.
Excuse the expression.
Polish
people, players playing each other. That was exciting.
Yeah.
And Hill too, they went, correct? Yeah, I think
Shredrick and Zielinski went double hill. Yeah.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah.
Makes me sad.
Yeah,
yes, you wanted both of them to win.
Well, I mean, I wanted them both to win, but I mean, if Wojtek Szewczyk's my favorite player, like in the world, so
right.
Yeah.
Sad.
Well, I mean, quarterfinalist, World 8-ball, reigning World 10-ball champion.
I have his jersey.
Yeah,
Will
I mean, how close he came to having 2 world championships in the same year is pretty.
Oh,
that would have been pretty scary stuff.
Super strong.
Really nice. Yeah.
Very understated too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that both of them texted each other on what shirt to wear for the.
Did they?
They both
I think they
wearing-
only have one shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
They have 2. They have,
one in red and one in white.
one in red and one in white. This is the white one.
This is the only shirt we wear.
Yeah. So, I guess I don't know. The let's start with the ongoing 8-ball. I guess since we've been talking about it, anyways. Jason Shaw versus Victor Zielinski. One of the semifinals is going on next. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz and Mario He currently knotted up at 5-5. I guess the event's been good so far. Who do you guys pick for a winner going forward, Mike?
I don't know. Jason looks awfully strong these days. Awfully confident these days. Victor, he's been in finals pretty much everything he's played in the last
Guaranteed
month
second
and a half. So yeah. So but to be guaranteed second, it means he's going to have to beat Jason in the semis. So it's going to be a good match. But I think of the 2 semifinals, I like Jason the way he's playing right now. I mean, he's coming off of the international. He seems like he's really hitting a gear and a stride, and the confidence level's really high. So, he would be my betting favorite.
I mean, this is his game. I mean, I think Jason is, for whatever you want to say about the rest of his games, I mean, he is an English 8-ball player at heart. I mean, this is what he started playing. And I think that this is by far, I shouldn't say it's by far his best game, but I think 8-ball is absolutely his best game. I think if there's a player who can beat him, it's Victor Zielinski. But I think I think Jason Shaw wins this tournament, not comfortably, but probably about as close as you can get to that. But the winner of Jason and Victor is really, I think, is who's going to win the event. But I got to pick Jason. Rob?
Yeah, this is the last year, the way he's played, he's got just nerves of steel. He just really, really enjoys what he's doing. You can see that. He doesn't play with a big smile on his face or anything, but he's loving every minute of this competition. And he's loving every minute of it because of the way he's playing also. He's not struggling with any particular part of his game. It's all together. the attitude, the mental part of the game, everything is right on spot with him right now. And yeah, that's who I picked. He's just on a roll, on a major roll.
All right, Ray, be the one person that doesn't pick Jason.
No, I think the Mario E and Ruiz match is basically a pick 'em. I think Mario's probably breaking a hair better for the duration of the tournament, and he's playing really nice. But Francisco is just getting deep in everything and having one of those years. So this match is going to go 10-9, 10-8 probably. It's 6-5 right now. They just took a break. But I think I agree. I think the winner of the Jason and Victor match is going to probably win the tournament. And I think the final will be another like 10-8 kind of match. If they go to 10, maybe they go a little longer race. I'm not sure.
What do they go to?
Seems like it would be 13, I would
13
think.
maybe?
13 maybe, yeah, probably 13. So it might be 13-10, 13-11, something like that. But I just think it's really interesting. You know, Victor.
Nope, it's race to 10 the whole way through.
Great race to 10. Okay, so it'll be like another really close final. I don't really expect somebody to super run away with it because I haven't seen anybody really string together big breaks, and everybody seems like they're hell bent on breaking from the middle. So they're going to die on their swords. That's fine. But I mean, Jason has this robust straight pool background. Victor just had a deep run in the American straight pool. I think those skills in that game are really conducive to 8-ball. And it makes sense that those guys are deep right now, that they're in the semifinals and they have a chance to make the final. So, you know, I kind of want Jason to win just because I feel like he's gone through a bunch and he's poised right now to add a world title to his resume to kind of really cement him. He's always been like one.
This would be his first world title, correct?
Yeah, he does not have
Or,
one.
although he won the world black ball, right? At one point.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe.
And I think that was a WPA sanctioned event. Or
So,
might have
I
been,
think
don't
so.
know.
Yeah.
As far as American pool goes, this will be his first world title. I think maybe for all four guys here, they're all fighting for their first world title.
Right.
But I think he maybe has a slight edge over Victor, but I wouldn't be surprised, you know, because Victor's just had this, you know, match with Jason in the finals of the international. And, you know, the Polish guys are playing tremendous pool. I think Victor is probably playing the best pool of all of the Polish players consistently now. What is there, but I think Victor's, I mean, he just,
No doubt.
you know, yeah,
No
I
doubt.
think Victor's just got a little bit of an edge right now. So I think that's kind of a pick 'em also, but it's hard. You know, I think maybe 55-45 for Jason, but I mean, it's really a slight advantage, situational at best. I wouldn't be surprised if Victor wins that match and wins the tournament, but I think whoever wins that semifinal probably takes it down.
I agree. I think it's probably 55-45. I think that's about right. But I think from there, it's probably 65-35 for whoever comes out of the other side.
Yeah,
Is my opinion.
I just kind of like, from what I've seen from Francisco and Mario, and from what I've seen from Jason and Victor, I think they get through the 8-ball patterns a little better, and they recover better. And I think that's probably just a little bit more familiarity with straight pool and having gone deep in a big straight pool, and then Jason having just set the world, you know, all-time record. So I kind of give them a little bit of the nod, and yeah, it's going to be interesting.
A lot of similarities between straight pool and 8-ball. And you know, when I was watching Alex play, I was thinking about his one pocket prowess and how that aids him in choosing his patterns in 8-ball.
Sure.
I think and shot making too, because he's very precise. I was just really impressed with the way he played against Tyler.
Yeah, his stack management is great, and like, you know, knowing how to get in and around the clusters and how to develop balls, all that stuff is, you know, just part and parcel for one pocket. So
I was impressed with his play for sure. Do you think if the Mosconi was North America against Europe instead of U.S. against Europe,
I hate.
Do you think Johnny
this.
and Alex would be on the team?
I hate this discussion. It's never going to do that. I don't think you need to do that. I think it's just like one of those things. It's just an excuse people have. I mean, we beat Europe into the dirt for a decade.
No, I'm not talking about the competition necessarily. I'm talking about the Canadian players being able to.
I think they're great players. I have a lot of respect for Alex.
Would they be on the team?
John would be. I don't know about Alex, but John
would
be.
If they were American today, they would be on the team probably. Yeah, but that's a different. I mean,
that was my point.
I mean, there's South American players that play amazing that would be on the team today if they were allowed to be. But it's USA versus Europe. I think the conversation is just a lazy, and it's just I hate this discussion online. It's just go practice, get better. Like it's just whatever.
I have to agree. I just hate this discussion, and I really hate the excuse U.S. gives. It's a country versus a continent. Well,
Stop it.
The total. I think the overall right now is Europe is 26, U.S. is 25, and there's been one tie.
Yeah.
So
I always include the one tie. The one tie is a U.S. win. Period.
We're 4 or 5 years behind the curve.
You tie, you retain the cup. That's what they had it at that point. To me, that's a win.
We are 4 or 5 years behind the curve, so we're going to take the worst of it. Let's say 3 out of the next 5 years. That's fine. But Team USA is ramping up. There's people coming back out to play. There's people that are training hard and all this other stuff. And this is a very specialty format. This is not like, long race 9-ball with, the Fargos don't really matter. It's situational play. And can you work together as a team? And I mean, Johan proved that Team USA can win, so it's not
2 out of
like
3 years.
Come on, like stop it. Just get better, be accountable to your teammates and hold the players to account more and just create a structure. And the guys are putting in the work. These are talented players. The USA has a lot of talented players, a lot of talented juniors that are coming up too. So this conversation that, we can't win, woe is me, it's just people are like entitled to want to win. Like, no, Team Europe and their players have put in a lot of effort and work. And so they're going to cash in on that for a while.
Oh yeah, we could win. We could win easily. Not easily, but we could win. Yeah.
I mean, we were in great
We're in the
position
conversation every year
to go deep.
Yeah, the break rules are changing again. Like the last 3 years, we've had such an incredible amount of stuff happen. Like we've had players weren't available last minute. We had a coach had to jump in and play last minute without any practice at all. It's to save the show. Stuff that's not really fair to Team USA. We've had it on the European soil 2 years in a row. So it's like we've done a lot of accommodating for a lot of variables, and we haven't just had our feet set. So I think Team USA this year will at least not have any of those shenanigans happen. They'll have a fair shot, and then they can, process however the Mosconi Cup goes and use it to develop and get better. That's it.
Yep.
But,
well, so they're at break. We'll kind of, as we're going through and to answer your question, Tom, in the chat, I posted the link there for the event, but don't go there until we're done. Hang out with us for a while.
You have two windows. You can just split your browser.
Yeah,
that's true. Like the rest of us are doing right now.
Right. So let's.
If I knew
chat
how to
briefly.
do it, I would do it right now. But
Let's chat briefly with the juniors, and then we'll move on to the Medalla Puerto Rico Open or whatever the beer was. I'm getting that wrong.
That's it.
Modelo's Mexican.
Yeah.
Give a shout out to Bethany Tate and to Savannah Easton. I think they've got 5th. Bethany got 3rd, and Savannah made it to fifth place.
5th or 8th. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, they did really well.
2 American juniors going deep, and this tournament we had 2 Americans in the final 16, which we hear every time from other people about how there's no Americans in the final 16. We had Corey and Tyler both make it into the round of 16, and then the round before that they had I think Shane was still in the round of
32.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the proof is there. The guys are starting, and Corey, I mean, he just I'll play some 8-ball, I guess. Came out of.
yeah, that's probably his best game, Corey.
Oh, he plays great 8-ball. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the juniors, I guess, then give them some shine. I am going to butcher these names, of course, because, why not?
But no one's going to know it.
Yeah, hopefully. So Shin Yu Hong is the women's world champion over Kim Hayam. Yep, that's exactly right. And then Bethany Tate. Go Bethany Tate. We love Bethany Tate. Gets 3rd place and a medal with Lena Primus. So those are on the women's side. And, of course, Savannah Easton gets, like you highlighted there, 5th through 8th.
awesome.
For the, I believe this is the 17 and under
17
men.
and under. Oh,
Yeah, this is the 19 and under. Sorry, the 19 and under is this one. Szymon Kural, another Polish monster coming through. That's great to see. If they didn't have enough already. And then Yuma Dorner from Germany are your first place and second place, respectively. Dennis Laskowski, which sounds Polish, but it's not. It's German. And Yi Sun Sun are your third, fourth. And your 17 and under. Carl Nottenberg over Lang Yi Lee. And Yori Navoli and Lazar Kostic are your third, fourth.
I think they had all the finals were on the TV table, right?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
So they featured the kids in each of those finals. So that's an awesome experience for them to get to step in.
The scary thing is watching all of the European junior boys stomp through those fields. I mean, their junior program, there's no doubt about it, is so strong in Europe. I mean, talk about the Asian players and their programs are pretty strong. Their juniors are pretty strong. They got taken out by the European juniors this week. So hats off to them. They play serious pool over there, and they all play like monsters.
Daniel Maciel, this is the first time I saw him. He's a relatively young guy, and he goes super deep in the 10 ball and then goes super deep in the 8 ball. I mean, he made a statement, I think, this week, also a Polish player. So I will.
He is Wojtek's travel buddy.
Yeah, I'm starting to add Polish sausage to my diet. Go ahead and go get us.
No, well, actually, if you want to be as good as the Polish players, you eat Qdoba.
That's right.
Apparently.
I'm messaging Martin Sawicki right now to figure out what the diet is and just.
It's junk food.
To be clear, I don't blame him.
Yeah, I go to the gym, so it's okay.
Yeah.
So, I guess let's move on to the Medalla Open on the. What do you want to start? We'll start with the men's side, or you want to start with the women's side?
Surprise us.
Okay, let's start with the men's side because I currently have that one open. Carlo Biado versus Daniel Marcol, I think is how it's pronounced. It's Wojtek's.
How is that pronounced?
What'd you say, Raymond?
Is it Maciel or is it pronounced?
Yeah, it could be. I'm not totally sure, I guess. And no matter how we're pronouncing it the American way. The Polish way probably something completely different. But Daniel's he's roommates. He's like Wojtek's roommates when they're on the road together. So they're good buddies, great friends. And boy, does he go through a murderer's row of. I guess everybody is at this point, right? Everybody's a great player.
There's some strong fields there. Wow.
Yeah. Oh no, he beat three in a row, but 3 great players.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, both sides did, I guess, right? So Carlo Biado wins 2-0 in the finals. Jesus Intencio and Koping Yi get third, fourth. 5th through 8th goes to Ralph Souquet. Pretty awesome to see him up there. Jonas Sota, Roberto Gomez, and Eklund Kachi are your 5th through 8th.
Intencio had a great event.
It was good for him.
He really – he kind of, I think, has made a little bit of an adjustment and not – he has such a big stroke that he kind of in the past, I've seen him rely on it too much, where he'll just kind of put himself in spots where he has to use the stroke over and over again. And it's cost him balls that he should, matches that he maybe shouldn't have lost really, because he had position to, if he just kind of was a little bit more careful and just a little bit more methodical, kind of like, I'd say maybe what Jason Shaw used to do, where he would kind of just be overly too much reliant on his firepower instead of kind of just making his work a little easier. So I kind of noticed a little bit of a shift for the first time, I think, in Intensio's game this tournament to be more cognizant of little details and
more control.
Yeah, and in a format like that 10 ball where every inning counts, it matters over the duration of the whole event. You don't have to dip into that well so often. And he looked really solid. And, he came up a little short in a shootout. Normally he's very, very solid. So I have a feeling it might have just been a little bit of an energy thing where he kind of put up a little bit of a poor shootout to make the finals. So he was in a spot to get there. But great event for Jesus, and he's getting better, which is tough news for a lot of people. But And Daniel really impressed me, probably more than anybody in the 10-ball event for the week. So
Yeah, Carlo doesn't lose a match. Walks right through, undefeated.
yeah, he had some shootouts
He
to
did.
walk through, some pretty tense moments, and he just looked very comfortable. He just
Yeah.
kind of like, he never looked unsettled, and I just followed him actually on YouTube because he posts a lot of his matches on YouTube, and they do a lot of like little post-match reactions with his wife and stuff. And it's a fun follow if you're interested in seeing what his journey's like. So Carlo played like a champ, played really great. And I think he walked over a little bit in that final too. It was kind of like, I don't think it was super close.
No, it wasn't. It was pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how. I mean, in a race to 4 with a player like Carlo, I mean, it can get like that, right?
Really quick. Yeah, really quick for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot. So, I guess any surprises that you guys saw from that tournament? I mean, personally, I like to see Ralph's name up there. It's always good to see him still battling. He's what, 50? He's got to be like 52, maybe.
He had a good 8-ball tournament too.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8-ball's his game. I would have thought. I was expecting to see him further in.
Crazy.
Yeah, Darren too, for that matter. Darren played good in both events.
Yeah, Darren, he looked really strong early on. Yeah.
Darren had a good event as well. And Suke, doesn't he have like a 24 or 28 rack high run playing 8-ball?
Oh,
It's really dumb. It's like a dumb number. It's like a
Yeah.
that's super.
yeah. He's the man for sure, and super nice guy. Like,
Oh yeah, really nice.
I really appreciate the guys that just kind of go about their business and get it done. And don't act a different way. They just kind of play pool.
Yeah.
Beat Fedor in a shootout.
Who did
Ralph.
Ralph?
Ralph. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's yeah. I mean, is there anything else that you guys that stood out for you for that event?
This is the best event I've ever seen Predator put on.
Yeah, that's what stands out to me is the quality of the event, and it's so cool to see between Predator and Matchroom how they keep putting on these events where all the players say this is the best one they've put on.
Right.
This is the best one yet. That's what you're looking for, is just keep raising the bar. And they obviously, Karim from Predator lives in Puerto Rico there and has a lot of connections and worked with the locals, and it seemed like the hospitality was top notch and the venue was top notch, and that the community bought in. That's such a huge thing, but it's just really, I just saw so many comments that were, just talking about how perfect the venue was and how great the community was and the hospitality was. And that's great. That's great to see. And then they have 3 different disciplines at this level with all these players. Just fun stuff what they're doing.
Yeah.
Fans are lucky these days with technology the way it is.
Yeah, definitely an A1 class event. And I think, combining the community aspect, is pool is really big in Puerto Rico. Like culturally, it's a big deal. A lot of players there who play great and love the game. So it was nice that they could bring something like that to the island and kind of get
Puerto Rico and pool and baseball.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So like, beautiful event, and no issues. Like everything went off without a hitch. Scheduling wise, it looks great. It's nice to see the contrast in the approaches and seeing the value in both. You know what I mean? Matchroom obviously has a lot of value that they add with their events, and like it's a lot of prestige, a lot of history and stuff that's there. And Predator is kind of slowly building this really wide tent to be very inclusive and just high quality stuff, and really serving the needs of the fans and trying to get as much viewership and stuff. So their approach is a little bit different, but I super appreciate being able to just watch and sweat and like enjoy. It's really great. It's a really great presentation. So it makes me not want to miss this event next year for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, it makes me sad I'm not there. Bummer.
Right. Yeah,
Bummer.
you like the islands?
So let's head over to the ladies' side then. Zih-Chian, I believe this is her 2nd win in a row, right? She won Michigan.
Yeah, way. Yeah.
And they didn't have the women's did not have a category in Ohio.
Wei didn't win in Michigan. Kelly did. Kelly beat Wei in the final.
Oh,
this was Wei's first win.
That's right.
She's been right there, second place.
Yeah,
two or three times, and so I was pulling for her at the end for that reason. She's a
Correct. Kelly beat
she's
her in a
a-
shootout, right?
yeah,
Yes, it was a shootout.
Yes,
Yeah.
But yeah, she's a terrific player and has a lot of personality, and
She's so bubbly.
so it was
She's so nice.
so it was fun to see her win. Although Cheska, keep waiting for her to be in the final and winning tournaments left and right too. She's always been so talented. I'm just always surprised that we haven't seen her at the top more often.
Yeah, I watched her match with Yasmin, and she really, I mean, she's so fearless at the table. It's incredible to watch her run out her racks.
Yeah.
She
She plays like a typical Filipino.
Yeah, she plays like a man, she plays like really
She's playing like she's playing a video game on like the easiest difficulty.
super impressive, super intimidating when she gets going, and like big stroke, and like you see so many players be very reserved and technical and nice. She's just like
she fires
talent. Yeah.
I love watching her play.
Yeah,
entertaining to watch for sure. So I guess Chiyu Cho gets and Yasmin Ocean get third, fourth. Silviana Liu, Margaret Fifilova, Margaret Pia Filler, and Kristina Zlateva all get fifth through eighth. Again, just an amazing event. It's nice to see that the best women players in the world are back and playing. So we're not just seeing the Kelly Fisher
onslaught.
Yeah, I mean, we're not just seeing the Kelly Fisher show. We're seeing, Wei Su Chen back. We're getting, obviously, Pia Filler's been there the whole time, but we're getting back Kristina Tkach. We're getting back Margaret Fifilova. Yeah, all of the Taiwanese ladies. It's nice to see the Filipinos now.
Yeah, we knew it was going to bunch up a lot when the Asian, players got back into the mix. Still hoping to see Semi Chen one of these years. But
any of the
it's made everything a lot more competitive, and been fun to watch.
Yeah. So that brings to a close, I guess, all of the Puerto Rico events. Mario, he is now up 7-6.
He just
that's about to change.
He just missed the ball
pretty bad. Yeah. He messed up, and
I do have 4 monitors surrounding me.
Oh,
more monitors.
Well, I can't keep track of.
I'm trying to keep it semi-professional, so I can try to, host a show.
You're watching soaps. You're watching soaps. Come on.
Watching Days of Our Lives, stuff like that. General Hospital.
You got to be like Tank and Dozer from The Matrix. The operators just got surrounded by a wall of monitors.
I might have to do that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's really all we have to talk about for Puerto Rico. Do we want to discuss a little bit of the Mosconi Cup?
Sure.
I want to
well,
give.
Sure. I mean, just kind of.
I want to give a little promo here. First,
go ahead.
The women's professional tour is going to be up here in Wisconsin.
Coming to Wisconsin.
Coming up, December 7th, I think it starts, and goes through like the 12th. It's over in Rothschild, Wisconsin. That's Wausau area, at a mall over there. Nice little venue. It hasn't been promoted big time. There's a few things on Facebook now and then. I've seen a couple, but this is a pretty big deal. I like to get folks from Central Wisconsin showing up and watching this, because all the best women players are going to be there in this. And it's a small venue. It's a nice venue.
Yeah, great.
I super love when the women's events are paired with the men's events. I love the camaraderie and the different stuff you see on social with them engaging, and more people seeing the women play along
personalities.
Yeah, I think it's really good for women's pool, and I think Predator's done a really good job of that in a few events I've been to. It's nice.
It's really good for men's pool too.
It's great. It's
just good for pool when they're both together. For fans to go there and see the men and the women both playing, both competitive.
Yeah, this is just the ladies
interacting. It's just kind of it's a really great thing. I enjoy watching that
for sure.
Yeah. So I guess we can move on from there. Let's go into the Mosconi Cup. We are officially 1 week and 1 day away. And actually, in about a week from now, we're going to be getting ready to have some herbs and rye. You excited for that, Mike?
The press conference is in a week. We got to blow that up. We got to
cares
blow
about
that up.
When are you getting out there, Mike?
Tuesday at noon.
Tuesday at noon. When's the press conference?
3.
I sent an email. I gotta get me a press pass. I haven't got my press pass yet.
How do I get a
Hey,
press
man.
pass? I'm thinking about taking a camera and just recording stuff and documenting it for posterity.
Well, I will.
You
I
would
will
have to
say you're a representative of the Queued Up podcast. How's that?
Yeah, can you work on that? Can you get me one?
Front row seat.
Yeah, I just want to be able to, because I'm working on just my own content and stuff that I want to do, and I think it'd be a cool time just to document, just have a camera inside the arena and be able to shoot some slow mo of the fans and different stuff. It'd be fun. So,
Yeah.
Nate, I'll send you a letter with my references, and I'll send a picture of my Emmy award. So you let me know.
Sure, got it.
Thank you.
And I will send you back a response to send it to my secretary. They'll handle it and take care of it.
And just create that little email chain, and then it'll.
Do you have a Cue It Up jersey or anything, Raymond?
No, but you do, and you are looking sharp today, sir. I like the color on you. It's nice.
Looks better off.
I don't want to.
It highlights your eyes.
I've done that already with a certain commercial, so I'm not going to do that again.
Family show. Keep it clean, guys.
All right, so we're going in. We've already discussed, obviously, the all 5 players on both sides, what we thought about it, all that good stuff. Let's go into the mind of Jeremy Jones. If you are Jeremy Jones, how are you setting up your lineup for day 1 to give you the best chance of winning? Mike, what's your thoughts on it?
They're at home. Day 1, everybody's a little jittery, a little bit, trying to get their feel for the arena and the table, things like that. I would do what Johan did in 19, which is hold your best players for the second day, and not set up all these big, huge matches on day 1 and being a little unsure what you're going to get out of these players. So that's why he saved Sky and Shane pretty much for day 2 a few years back, and I thought that was a really shrewd move, and it worked to his advantage. So yeah, I would try to avoid the big, Shane against Jason or Earl against Filler, on day 1. I would try to avoid that.
I haven't looked at the rules for kind of like the pairing and which position gives you disqualifies certain players from other pairings. You have to expect that Earl's probably going to be the fans' choice. It'll probably be Earl or Shane. I kind of like the idea of finishing with your doubles as a warm up for whoever's going to go singles in the last round of day 1. And obviously the whole team plays first. I'd imagine you might see Tyler play a singles match on day 1, and then you might see like a doubles with whoever's going to be anchoring day 1 in singles. I mean, maybe if they put Earl up in an early singles match, maybe you do Earl in singles and then Earl and Shane in doubles, and then you do a Shane singles, or you put Shane and Sky in doubles, Sky in singles to end the day. It's really interesting. You got to kind of look at the overall flow of stuff, because the fans' choice affects your lineup, and that rotation. Maybe you might see Earl in a singles. You might see Tyler in a singles. Tyler and Oscar. Because they're on the team too. So it's kind of interesting. I think there's a lot of kind of important moves that all are predicated on how you want to manage the fans' choice and how that affects the rest of your lineup. So you got to kind of look at it and deconstruct day 2. But I do agree, you don't want to give them a chance to get an emotional punch in early. So if they win a singles match that is against one of the better players or something, that might deflate the team. So I kind of want to protect. If I'm them, I want to protect Shane from certain matchups, and I want to save him. I kind of want to use him a lot in doubles as much as I can, and then save him for the second phase. He might be a fan's choice, and then he might. You want him confident going into the end of of the round. If you could put Skylar out for that extra match as much as you can, I think that's really good for Team USA. So however they can maneuver to get Skylar an extra singles match, I would go that route.
Well, the only way is to get the fans' choice for that.
Yeah, but I mean the 1 year that he won MVP, I think he played an extra set of matches, and Shane was the fans' choice. Shane's always the fans' choice, but I think Earl might be the only person that would potentially get more votes on both sides.
I think Sky got an extra match because of day 4, which is all singles, and he ended up having his match on day 4 before other players. So, but you can only have only have one singles before day 4.
Yeah, got it.
And I think so. The way that they do the matchup now, where they usually only have the singles fans choice, but now they have the doubles fans choice. I assume that's back again this year.
Interesting,
right?
Yeah, that'll be Shane and Earl.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Yeah, so I mean that's going to be Shane and Earl. And honestly, I don't really like the fans choice for the doubles because, I mean, now you're getting to the point where you're basically all you're doing now is setting it up a situation where 2 of the 5 players are playing 50% of the points.
Shane and Earl. We'll play Shaw and Filler probably.
Yeah, I mean, by the time that day 3 is done, Shane will have played in nearly 50% of the matches, assuming that Shane is the fans' choice for singles and Shane is the fans' choice for doubles. The doubles is already locked up, right? I mean, it's absolutely guaranteed. It's going to be Shane and Earl.
It's not going to be Francisco and David. I mean,
no. But I just mean from the right from the U.S. side
and Filler for sure. I mean, all of Europe is going to go to
We would think it's going to end up being Jason and Josh versus Shane and Earl. The Europe side, I could see a situation potentially, especially if like Francisco ends up winning this World 8 Ball, where like it's Francisco and Josh or something like that, or Francisco and Jason. But I think it's Josh and Jason pretty much locked in.
Do you know where the rules are posted? Like the actual
format?
Yeah, the format rules are posted.
I'm looking on Moscone, for the Matchroom thing for the actual format, and I've not been able to find it.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't think they've ever really. I don't know that I've ever really seen the format. I guess I just kind of learned over the years what it is.
It's under the match.
I think a lot of times they don't know exactly what it is until they get to Las Vegas.
Yeah. So next week Tuesday you're going to be in Vegas, so there's not going to be a podcast, correct?
No, we'll do one from out there. I don't know what it's going to look like exactly yet, but I'm flying out Friday, so there's actually a pretty good chance that I'll end up getting something organized through the weekend, whether it be on site with Mike, or for next week, whether it's going to be on site with just Mike and Jim, or whether we're going to do something like this. But I might even do something over the weekend too. So,
well, here's the format. Here's the format. Day 1. Team, doubles, singles, doubles.
Sure. Yeah, here it is. Yeah.
Okay.
And all 5 have to play on day 1.
Yes.
All 5 players have to play at least once, right?
I think all 5 players have to play every day. I don't think you can take a day off.
Okay.
And then day 2 goes singles, fans choice singles, singles, doubles. And then singles, doubles, singles, doubles, and then all singles on the final day. So they've got the different things of, cannot be the same player as played in match 6. They've got all those rules in there that interprets what, who you can and can't use. So the first day it's just the 4 matches, teams, doubles, singles, and doubles. So if you're Team USA, who do you put out for the only singles match on the first day? I don't know. I would put out, like Raymond was saying, maybe Tyler.
We have a request to do a drunken podcast during the Moscone Cup.
Haven't they been paying attention for the past year? Jesus. I haven't been sober for one of these yet.
If we win, I'm wearing a beer hat and doing the podcast.
That's probably an idea worth having. I'm not against that.
I'm here.
Do a buzzed up.
Do you drink much, Trey?
No, usually no, unless it's like a celebratory thing or like a bookend to like something. You know what I mean? And even
so you'll get hammered with us.
If Team USA wins, I will hand my phone over to somebody, and all bets are off.
I volunteer as tribute.
Who's my chaperone? I'm gonna have to
My
find.
volunteers tribute.
Oh my gosh.
You might not remember much of it, but you're gonna have fun.
Tyler had that big singles match against Niels. I think that year that they won.
2018. Yep.
After losing the first 2 matches,
And then he won, and then they went on to win 3 straight.
Yeah, and so I guess it would be doubles, singles, doubles, and that's it. There's no 5th match on day 1.
Yeah, there's the team match. Remember,
No,
Yeah,
team match is the 4th match.
Team match is the
Team
first
match-
4. Yeah, so there's not
team is always the first match.
singles
Right.
matches.
And then you got doubles, singles, doubles.
Got it.
There's
So
just 4 matches on day 1.
I see. Yeah,
4?
yeah. 4 matches.
According
Day
to this.
Yeah. So they're gonna do fans' choice singles to begin day 2.
I will guarantee you.
I will by second singles.
I will guarantee you they did that so that they can guarantee that day 3 isn't cut super short.
Yeah, I mean,
That was never the case in the past.
no, we always had a fifth singles match.
Yeah, but no, they didn't, because on the second day they got 6 matches. So you're back to 10 after 2 days.
Yeah, I guess because of the scheduling
Okay.
choices.
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. Yeah,
Does the
but I mean, there's also 6 on day 3.
does the fans' choice singles?
So it kind of really defeats your argument.
Fans'
Well,
choice.
no, I mean it backloads the matches so that like you can't have, if it was 5, 5, 6, 5, then you have more matches on the front than you do on the back.
Yeah, I thought you were trying to make sure to get to a day 4.
Well, they're going to get to a day 4 no matter what, always, because they'll cut it short on day 3 even if they only have to play one single match. They'll do that. They've done that in the past, right?
Yeah.
So no matter what, it's going to a day 4. Just how many matches are going to be on a day 3? If you have less
Right.
matches on day 1, that guarantees more matches for day 3.
Right.
I think we might see. On day 2, fans' choice for singles. Let's just say it's Shane. Then they might. Can you double up on singles in match 6? Like if you have a fans' choice
Yes.
singles, can that next player go up and play singles again?
Yes, Shane did it last year.
Correct.
Yeah. So
Correct.
we might see that. Though we might see, if that's the case, if Shane gets fans' choice and then it goes to singles, you might leave Shane out there for singles, and then doubles, you'll probably see Skylar and Earl go out because it can't be the same person that was in match 6. But if Skylar goes out second, then maybe you see Shane come back out and play, doubles with Earl or something like that, or Shane and Sky.
Who are you guys going to vote for the fans pick? For the singles.
I'm going to vote for Alex Lately to get in the box since we had to have Jeremy play last year, so I think it's only fair. And then no,
Oh, I get it.
I kind of want to see Earl, to be honest.
Ooh.
Who doesn't?
I want to see him go up there and barbecue Filler. I really would love that.
Well, that would be something.
I love to see him just go up there and chop him down. But if that happens, the whole roof is going off the place. I promise you.
The rough.
The whole roof is going off. I'm preliminary doing fireworks. I'm just gonna be just sitting there, just like if
Earl
somebody-
can blow it up or take
Man.
it down.
I'm just saying, man. I hope
We're looking for blow it up.
He's running 28 miles right now. I promise.
Is he every day?
I
No,
promise.
he's currently on his 397,000th push-up. So,
Yeah, wow. I bet he is. You know he's going to be ready.
Oh my god. People joke around. I went to the International Open. I walk into the gym. I look in the corner, and Earl's sitting there just doing his sit-ups, And then I'm like, I get on the treadmill and I'm doing my thing. I look over like 15, 20 minutes later, Earl's still going, just like around. And then once he got done with his sit-ups, he came up and did a treadmill run with me. But he was running 6.5 miles. So I gave Earl some advice. It's more efficient to do steady state cardio on an incline for a little bit longer period of time than to run, like outright run 6.5, miles per hour. It tires you out more. So, and it's less efficient in the calorie burn because you can get your heart rate up to like 150 beats per minute, 145 beats per minute on like just an incline walk. And so you get that going. That's really what you want. So, Earl, if you're watching, I have a photo with me and Earl right there on the treadmill working out. So,
Nice.
you players are getting smart. You guys gotta be an athlete. You gotta run.
This is going to be some kind of entertainment. I'll tell you what.
Oh, it is. I'm looking forward to this big time.
It would be great if Joe Rogan, Ryan Harmsey saying it would be great if Joe Rogan just pulled in and made a cameo appearance.
Yeah.
Honestly, with all of like the I don't even know what you want to call it, the wokeness where it's like you're canceling out people for saying things and doing things in your past. I'm honestly kind of surprised that video hasn't sort of like surfaced and gone viral, and like people call for Joe to be like canceled from that.
From what? From the Earl thing?
Yeah.
Oh well, whatever. He had one line in the back there that would. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
People need to. He's a comedian. Comedians used to be able to say whatever they wanted, and
That's right.
That was the great art of comedy, that they could say the things nobody else could say, and then it gave them the opportunity to like tear down, the idols that everybody builds up as like untouchable. Like, no, that's what comedy's there for. And this has been forever. Like you're talking about like Roman empires, like court gestures. Like this is the purpose, you know what I mean, for them to kind of break levity. Although back then you might catch a spear to the throat if you. Stakes were a little different.
I went to a live George Carlin show in the Twin Cities one time back in the day, and it was interesting. In the first 15 minutes, there was maybe 500 people in the audience, maybe a few more, and it was a small venue, and 100 in the first 10 minutes left. They paid $75 to come and see George and listen to him, but they walked out.
Yeah, they got their scoop of offense, and they were like, I'm taking my medicine. No, comedy's awesome. So yeah, it'd be great.
Just an update. FSR is into the final.
There you go.
Oh,
that's my boy. I just made $50.
He was down 7-5
right.
and ran and won the last 5 games.
Thanks, Francisco.
won the last 5.
Dominic,
did he have a 5-pack or did he?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And another semifinals loss for Mario He, bringing his total for the year to 28.
I mean, he's playing great.
Yeah, playing great.
He's playing great.
Doing a good job.
He's made it to every single semifinals of this entire year. Every single event.
Francisco is playing great pool.
It's like
He's beating them down.
Victor Zielinski, everybody's playing for either first or second place because he's going to be in the finals, and everybody else is playing for first, second, or fourth because that Mario He has one of the semifinal spots locked up.
Yeah, right.
I hate betting against. I bet on Jason against Filler, and Jason beat Filler, and so now I have Victor against Jason just because he has the guaranteed finals clause in his contract. No, Dominic picked.
Well, I don't know, Raymond. You didn't know we have a sharing policy on the podcast. I don't know if you
you got 10%.
Only in winnings.
Yes, no,
only in winnings. We don't share in losses.
So,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
On your own.
Semifinals, I'll cut you guys in for.
But we only share winnings. We don't share losses.
That's fine. That's fine.
You just buy us drinks in Vegas.
Mm-hmm. I'm so pumped.
All right. Well, I don't know. We don't want to do any predictions for Mosconi Cup yet. We have one more podcast before that. So
one more.
Book it.
We'll wait.
11-8. Book it right now. I promise you.
11-8 USA.
Earl's going to cash in on at least 3 points. Earl's going to cash in on 3 points. Skyler might be MVP again. Shane's going to hold down 3 points. I'm telling you.
There was a comment made here about trying to alleviate some of the stress, Shane being, the top player, and try to lessen that load on him a little bit. And that was an interesting comment. I don't know about that. I'll throw that out there. Maybe we can talk about that for a second.
Yeah, I mean, I think Earl being on the team is a perfect cocktail mixture thing for Shane, because Shane
balancing
the limelight is not on.
If you're talking Molotov cocktails, yeah.
Yeah. Well, correct. It can be volatile, sure, but Earl's going to draw all the attention. You know what I mean? That's just the nature.
Okay, that'll help Shane.
Not only that, they are actively trying to transition Sky into being the leader of that team.
Well, I think Sky has been
Sky is the vice captain.
He's been the moral leader because
he's also becoming the regular leader
the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, he's been the most for his team. You know what I mean?
And now he's the moral leader.
But he's willing to get guys together and and be encouraging and be positive, like that's just his nature. Even if the ship's tanking, he's there, like, you know, we're gonna ride this out together, you know, and that's what you want.
Well, he's the moral leader and he's the official leader now.
Yeah,
No question.
he's a vice captain for sure. I mean, Shane has the unspoken, like, I'm the best player clause. You know what I mean? So when he's there, he's going to garner respect just from his abilities. He's so good as a player. The biggest thing with him is managing his headspace. That's, to me, the variable. He's
Well,
an
I
X
don't even
factor.
agree with you.
As
I
good
don't
as
even agree with you.
he's an an X factor. If his headspace is clear and positive, and you have somebody who's engaged and locked in and committed the whole way through, even when things get shaky, then you have a chance to win. You know what I mean? But if he unplugs, which I didn't like his demeanor at the table when I saw him this week at the Predator event, the 8-ball, saw a lot of negative body language, a lot of kind of deflecting back into kind of disconnected habits. And to me, at this point, it's habitual. Kind of that behavior is just habitual. So there's a great quote. I read it in this book called Atomic Habits. I think I started the year with it. And James Clear says, we don't rise to the occasion, but we fall to the level of our standards. And the standards that we build for ourselves in every action. You know what I mean? So if we see somebody performing really well in a high pressure moment, it's because their standards have set themselves up to that's where they're going to perform when things get shaky. But now you have to think about technical standards in play when you feel comfortable, and technical and mental standards as well. And the Mosconi kind of provides an avenue where Shane doesn't really like. You know, he doesn't like the not being able to, you know, break and run people to death. You know, he likes the long format winner break thing, and he doesn't like alternate break, and he doesn't like short races. So these are all things that, you know, are against him. You know, things he obviously would prefer not to do. But it's
interesting.
It's event, so he's in this position, so he's got to go out there. But he's gotten tagged a lot, and he's unfortunately been in a transitional phase as far as like the context of the rest of the team goes, and hasn't had, you know, a super strong team behind him. And that puts a lot of pressure on him and makes him the focal point. And that also psychologically is not what he likes either. So you see a lot of like mental spiraling from him. And so if you can keep him solid and engaged and playing well, then he's going to do Shane things. You know what I mean? He's a world 9-ball champion, for God's sakes. You know, the guy plays amazing. But, you know.
When was the last time you saw him do that in the Mosconi Cup?
No, I don't see it from him. I mean, Johan was there, and Johan kind of kept him in check and kept him engaged. Even though they lost the first year, he won 2 in a row. And you can tell that he had yielded to a leader. He had trusted Johan. Johan had enough credibility in his mind that he could put the team together. And he had seen enough work happen throughout the year because they had, like, you know, worked themselves up incrementally to the Mosconi Cup. So he could have a firsthand account of what the other guys were doing. And then he bought into them having enough effort behind this push to win the cup. I think that's part of it too. So psychologically, unpacking that enigma is important. So if they can get to that point, because the other guys are working hard. You know, Tyler's been working hard. Oscar's been working hard. Skylar's been putting in his work, and Earl's for sure probably working as hard as anybody, if not more so. So, you know, they got to work all that stuff out and get him bought in. If he buys in and he's like playing well and locked in and not showing kind of some of that negative behavior, then that's good. But, you know, here at the Predator events, he doesn't like being slugged, right? He hates being slugged. It's like his break is like the anchor for his whole player soul. You know what I mean? But because the rack is so volatile here, you don't get the template, you don't get a tight rack. He can't leverage that big break to dominate his opponents. It just feels like he hates that. You know, he really doesn't. He's halfway in and out. You know, coming back to the table after your opponent misses and not having your glove on, like that's a telltale sign for me that the guy was like halfway out the door. And
I don't know. Are they using the template, Mike?
Yeah, they are using the template this year.
Yeah, so template's good for him.
At Mosconi, they are, right?
Yeah, template's good for him, I think, for Shane. Even though it's a tough rack, tough for everybody. And he won, wasn't the World 9-ball championship with the template?
All the way through.
All the way through. Yeah, so that's when they kind of first established it. So that'll help. That'll help a lot for him because it at least standardizes an aspect of that. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, short format, alternate break, whatever, but at least I know I'm going to get more or less a good rack. You know,
maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was hand rack in the final 60s. I think the European Open was the first time that they used a template all the way through.
The UK Open was hand rack, and it was torture.
Well, I think the World was. I think
No.
this was hand racked too in the final 16s. I think wasn't the European Open the first time that they used a template all the way through with the 9 on the spot, and that
Good
was
word
before.
for it.
It was, I think, yeah, because that was
Maybe.
that was the big, yeah. It was the world 9 ball was before the European Open, so I'm guessing it was hand rack with the 1 on the spot that he won it.
Yeah. Well, either way, I think the 9 on the spot with the template helps kind of standardize everything for everybody as far as expectations go. It's not as much of a variable. And you know what? Earl was actually really productive with that break format too at the International. So that was encouraging to see, because that's always, to me, been his weakest aspect, especially the last 4 or 5 years. He gets outbroken a lot. But I think this format's kind of the sweet spot for everybody, and I think just the template's the way to go. You make the break as hard as you can, but as standardized as you can, and you just move on. You know.
Yep.
No 3-point rule too. I think that's kind of a gaffy, goofy rule, but
Yeah, I agree with that.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm pumped up. I think I'm interested to see what the guys do. You know, the actual team.
Yeah. So am I.
Those few days before the Cup, how they kind of work, and you know, we might not be privy to that information. You know what I mean? But
I think they're going out there the day after Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
I believe the whole team's going out there, and I believe Team Europe's out there real early too. I think they might even be staying in a house in Southern California or something, the European team. I know they're going someplace secluded. So I mean, you know, they're both prepping the way they think they need to give them, you know, get them in the right mindset and team mind frame, you know, when they hit Vegas.
yeah, that's the fun part about this Mosconi Cup. I think for me, it's the team dynamics are the most crucial, and that the years that we've done really well is people have kind of shored up and come together as a team, been for each other. When you do that, you give yourself a chance to win, regardless of who's on the other side. You know, so
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, I think that puts us in a pretty good spot for today. I guess next week we'll be on site. Maybe we'll do an in-person one. Ray, Mike, Jim, sounds like a plan. Something like that.
yeah, let's.
I'm around.
If it makes sense, try to get something
I
done.
don't get up before 9.
Let's do it at Grips.
I'm still awake at 9, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen there. All right, sounds good. We'll leave it there. Mike, Ray, Rob, thanks for joining me again this week.
Pleasure, Nate.
We'll be seeing you guys next week from Vegas. Pretty exciting stuff. Almost here.
Yeah, going to be great. Have a nice Thanksgiving, y'all.
Likewise.
Yeah. Everybody, have a nice Thanksgiving.